Shalom, my name is Rudy Rochman and I'm here at the 2019 AIPAC Policy Conference. And although most people come to AIPAC to listen to the interesting conversations inside, I'm here also to try and speak to the protesters outside to see what they think. Now we know there are many different types of groups, let's see what they have to say. Having conversation, genuine conversation between two Jews that love Hashem, that love Israel, that love our people, and that want the best for us. But if we are two oppositions, and we don't come together and figure out maybe one is right, maybe the other is right, maybe both are right.
I don't want to have a conversation because I can't get into wrong things and I don't want to have that in my head either.
Look at me in the eyes, I'm a Jew speaking to a Jew, I'm your brother.
I'm not looking at Zionism in the eyes.
Okay?
We're all part of my family. My brother is also Zionist. I'm not looking at the eyes, I'm not calling him out.
A lot of people ask me why I always engage and talk with Neteurei Karta. Now it's important to note that this group of Jews make up only 5,000 around the world, to an already 15 million Jewish population. Now their views are not congruent with the rest of the Jewish population, however their views are based on deep psychological and emotional trauma that occurred over 2,000 years of displacement in the diaspora where they were oppressed, persecuted, and thus now believe that there is no way for Jews to take the future into their own hands and be empowered. How many Neteurei Karta are there? I'm asking you, 5,000. There's 5,000 Neteurei Karta around the world. But it does matter because realize that you represent such a small minority of Jews.
Try another angle. Try another
It's not about an angle. It's about trying to relate to you as a Jew. Most people here will come and insult you. But do you know where home is? Do you even know where home is, or did you forget in the diaspora?
Okay.
Efa Bait.
You're speaking a treif language.
Why is it treif?
Treif because God gave us Lashon Kodesh. You're speaking Ivrit that they made because they hated God and they made a new language.
So back in Judea,
why did they make Ivrit?
In
Tell
Judea,
me why they made Ivrit. I'm asking you a question.
What is your
why
question?
Why did they make Ivrit? What was wrong with Lashon Kodesh?
Ivrit was there already. We
No,
added
it wasn't.
words that
They
didn't
created
exist.
a language.
We added
Why?
words that didn't exist because we lived 2,000 years in separation.
What was wrong with Lashon Kodesh?
Why do you speak Yiddish?
What was wrong with that? Why do
you speak a language?
Why did they make a whole court system?
But I answered your question. Can you answer mine?
I'm asking why they made a court system when we had the Torah. What's wrong with the Torah? You know it's a considered rebellion against God?
So can I answer your question? Because you asked me a question.
Yes, answer me.
So the way that Israel created its government, I'm completely against, right? Because we have a British parliamentary system in Jewish land that's not Jewish and it's not Middle Eastern. It doesn't fit.
Maybe at one point. I'm not excited about it.
So there are a lot of things that we need to change in Israel for sure. But you understand that the reason why it created that government in that way is because there was no time or conversation to have to create the proper way of governing
That's not why. It's because they don't want Judaism. They want nationalism. They hate God. They hate the religion.
But
want
you're
the
saying things that
national
isn't true to the people. Like your nation that lives in Israel, which is your family.
You can't make a pig kosher.
No,
you can't
absolutely.
make that state kosher.
But that's like a straw man argument. We both agree that you can make a pig kosher. Okay, that's lo kashur what we're talking about.
I'm not going to debate. I told you have the references.
But I want our ideas to be able to have a conversation like Jews, like we've done for thousands of years.
I'm not interested in having this
So why are you here?
I'm here. I gave you the references. Maybe
so
you look at it. Maybe you wake up tomorrow.
So you're only here to like give your ideas. You
That's
can't
exactly
listen to
what
other
I'm
ideas.
here for. Exactly.
So how do we move forward as a people if you can't even have a conversation?
Well, you have books. You can look it up. You don't need me. You don't have to convince me.
But it's not
you
about,
have to see for yourself what's the truth.
But like I care about you.
You really care about me?
Yes, I do.
You'll study the books. If you have a true question, you'll ask a question.
So we can't have a conversation. The only thing you can put me is to like reading material. But I know a lot about your position. So I'm interested in having conversation about that. But every time we actually talk about something, you tell me that I'm not a Jew, and you tell me that pigs aren't kosher. Like how is that
cut yourself off from Judaism by affiliating with Zionism.
Okay, so the Jews that are Zionists are not part of Am Yisrael. Is that your opinion?
I would be much more happy if they would have gone to Uganda or Patagonia than Palestine.
We went back to Israel, to Eretz Yisrael.
So they're committing two crimes.
We're not. But you understand that
they're defiling the land.
You cannot blame the consequences of the wars just on the Jews.
Yeah.
Right? There's a conflict happening in the region. There are Palestinian suffering, but you cannot blame all that suffering just on Am Yisrael.
Listen, I told you, I'm not in the mood of this debate. I'm sorry. It's been a pleasure. You can go study it. You have further questions, you can ask.
I'm just interested in having a conversation. If you don't want to, I can have a conversation with someone else.
Yep.
Maybe you? Shalom? You want to have a conversation? I don't know what that means.
It says there's no peace with the wicked.
When God will bring the Messiah and will give us the Holy Land, He will first dismantle that government, that state of Israel, and then will bring the Messiah, and He will kill all the people who did all the desecration against his name. That's what unfortunately happened by the Holocaust, and that was from God because of that sin, from trying and doing everything to create their own state.
So the Holocaust was
caused
because of Zionism?
Yes.
Why do you think only Satmar and Neteurei Karta and maybe a few other groups are against Israel, but that makes up a very small percentage compared to the large body? Why do you think the majority of the body of Am Yisrael believes in Israel?
I don't know what the majority is. I'm sure with my opinion, because it's not my opinion, I have that. I know my father was like that, my grandfather was like that, my rabbi, my grand rabbi, and that was the fact.
But if they were doing something wrong, you have the ability to make your children not like that anymore. You have the freedom of choice, and so do I. As a Jew to a Jew, the majority of Am Yisrael today, the reason they believe Israel has a right to exist is they believe actually Hashem had a role to play in allowing the Jews to come back. And Hashem doesn't always come in the form of the 10 plagues where it's clear that there's a miracle. Hashem sometimes does a miracle, for example, in the story of Purim that just happened. Hashem didn't come, but it was a miracle in what happened. So the fact that we were able to come back to Israel, revive our civilization, our mission is to be able to accomplish Mashiach, which is Tikkun Olam Eno Lagoim, to help as a nation, help empower those around us. And that's our role to play. And once
why do we have to help God? We don't have to help him. He will do it.
We don't have to help other nations? Why does it say that?
What do you mean help other nations?
Am Yisrael is supposed to be Ola Goim, right? An example to others. Those that are able to take the Torah that Hashem gave to us and to use it to do better, to help others, to help, solve poverty, to help solve starvation, to help solve diseases, to help solve economic struggles. We're supposed to be a nation that enlightens and empowers other nations. So how are we going to do that if we're in our shtetl and being attacked in Germany? How are we going to do that if we're in Morocco treated as dhimmis? How are we going to do that if we're not strong, if we don't have the power within ourselves?
What do you think was the last 1900 years before the state of Israel? You think that the Jews?
I think we were broken.
Yes.
I think that the Roman Empire destroyed us, not only physically in the land, not only killed Jews, but destroyed us mentally.
So what do we have to do?
Then what we have to do is to revive our physical and revive our mental.
Physical?
Physical being Eretz Yisrael, and having an army again and being strong as Jews like we always were.
So you're coming now and saying me new things, and I don't want to accept it.
Do you think that the Rebbe and the Rav Kook are not legitimate sources of information?
What?
The Rebbe, Lubavitcher Rebbe, and the Rav Kook.
I'm not recognizing those two people also as rabbis, as Jewish rabbis. And
they're not Jews in your opinion?
No. Of course not.
So anyone who doesn't believe exactly what you believe isn't a Jew? But the first time we came back to Eretz Yisrael with Moshe Rabbeinu, right? We came out of Mitzrayim after the 10 plagues, we went back to Eretz Yisrael. The majority of the spies and even the majority of the population wanted to go back to Egypt, but were too afraid to go to Israel. So for me, in my opinion, and I'd love to know what you think about it, is that when the Jews left Eretz Yisrael and the second diaspora with the Romans destroying our country, we were afraid to go back. We didn't know how to be strong because for thousands of years we were persecuted, attacked, pogroms, the Black Plagues, the Inquisition. We were so afraid that this idea that one day the Jews can be strong and come back ourselves. And I think with Zionism was the spark of Am Yisrael becoming strong again and being like Moshe and being like Yoshua, who came back as a spy and said we can go back to Israel, and being able to do that.
You don't believe that?
I truly do believe that.
You're just saying that.
No,
you don't believe
I truly do believe in Hashem, and I truly do believe it was a miracle that we were able, after 2,000 years of being outside of our homeland, to come back and liberate that land from a British army that was persecuting our people.
You can't believe whatever you want. You make something like a new religion and a new belief.
Wait,
Who
made a new religion? I think we have the same religious connection. We all believe in Hashem, we all believe in the Torah, we all believe in the mitzvahs. No, I think that we have different interpretations of the Torah. Almost all of what the world considers Am Yisrael is not Jewish in your opinion. Because Neteurei Karta make up 5,000 Jews. And Jews around the world are 15 million. So they're not even 1% of the total Jewish population. So you're saying that the total Jewish population is not Jews and only the small little few thousand Jews are the true Jews and the only Jews?
You a Zionist?
Yes.
You talk in the name of Jewish people?
I'm,
How you do it?
I'm a Jewish individual and I speak on behalf of myself. And I do think a lot of my opinions resonate with the majority of
be a
Am Yisrael.
Zionist and be a Jew together. Those stay together in one person.
So for me, a Zionist means a Jew that knows who he or she is, that wants to be able to have self-determination in their land and be empowered and not live in a diaspora and not live being persecuted and not live being attacked and being able to break out of this.
Always we have lived in exile.
Only for 1,800 years, 2,000 years, right?
Not only. Everything was for a reason.
Right.
He was before that in the Holy Land. God sent us to exile because of our sins.
Right.
So we have to do tshuva.
But God helped us come back to
No. He didn't have to.
So how
you
are we
do
able
it yourself?
How are we able to do it?
Torah say,
without Hashem's help?
and Torah say, for the Mapilim, Moshe Rabbeinu say that if you go up, V'hilo sitzlach. It's not going to have a tzluch. You're not going to succeed.
So why is Israel succeeding?
No, it's not succeeding.
It's one of the strongest countries only in 70 years.
If we try to leave exile, we will be hunted like animals. In fact, many of the rabbis will be led to the gas chamber.
But
let me finish this.
But we were hunted like animals before we came back to Israel. The fact that we're in Israel allows us not to be hunted
If you
anymore.
want to refute part of the Torah because you have a nice theory,
I'm not refuting the Torah. I'm saying that
You
Hashem
are
had a role in
refuting
allowing
the
us to
Torah.
come back to Israel. You think that it was all man.
not when you decide, or Theodor
didn't
Herzl
decide.
decides, when there will be...
What about Rav Kook?
He doesn't
Was he
count
not a
against-
Chacham?
He doesn't. He could be brilliant. He could be Rabbi Kairos and be brilliant. He could be a
How can we
heretic.
choose one certain rabbi and
One
not the
certain
other?
rabbi?
Yeah.
You're talking about
You're
the
picking and
whole-
choosing. How come almost every single rabbi today supports us being there?
You are making a
Is that not
tragic
true?
mistake. No, it's not true.
Most rabbis don't support Jews having a right to live in Israel.
Maybe you consider them rabbis. You are not part of Klal Yisrael as you are today.
So I'm not part of it.
No, the Rambam says that if somebody becomes a
Rambam said that every Jew is a Jew. A Jew is a Jew is a Jew. Shalom everyone. My name is Rudy Rochman and I'm a Jewish and Israel rights activist. My work focuses on empowering the next generation of Jews and allies to be ideologically strong in order for us to write the next chapter of history. If you like my work and appreciate what I do, you can support us on patreon.com and link will be below. I'm Rudy Rochman and you're watching JTV.
To stay up to date with JTV content, click subscribe here if you're on YouTube and hit the alarm bell. And if you're on Facebook, hit the like button and under following, click see first. If you enjoy watching JTV content and want to help us continue to grow, please consider making a donation to us by clicking here.